Hello everybody, Poisoner here. We are back at it again in Stoneshard City of Gold, and in this video will be a guide on the staff skill tree. Now, this was one of my first skill trees that I've played in the City of Gold, and I had some fun with it. So I wanted to start with staff as my first guide. Now, the guide will be broken down in increments, starting off with the characters, followed up with the skills, stats, fighting, and late game clips. Now, there are timestamps in case you want to skip some of these steps, but without further ado, let's get started. Starting off with the characters, the best for the staff build would be Arna, Jorgrim, and Velmir. The staff goes extremely well with these groups of fighters, with their supporting passives like Arna getting stats with enemies around her, Jorgrim getting damage after he kills a target, and Velmir gaining benefits from being hit. All of these supports the staff very well. Now the issue is that none of them start with the staff tree activated. Also, the books are unreliable. The only best way to learn staff is from the Priest in Manshire. Now, fortunately for us, the starting gear we have does fine for the first two contracts, but personally what I like to do is ally with the brewery, since the follow-up contracts is just beating up 5 really easy guys, along with some back and forth, and you'll get your cavern trip, and then now you'll be heading to Manshire. Once you get into Manshire, just head into the church, talk to the priest, and learn the staff skills from there. Now, as for the skills, I took all skills in the staff tree, while a select few in the combat mastery. I did take all the staff skills since every single one of them provides a really good attack, passive stats, or just some buffs. Now, while for combat mastery, Warcry was taken because of the powerful stats you gain while using it and debuffing your enemies, opportune moment to maintain energy and cooldown, set up to get some useful stats while using stances and tactics, offensive tactics getting really good offensive stats, and defensive tactics to get really good defensive stats. Now, I know you can't use both of the tactics at the same time, but switching between them is not only free for energy, but it is a free turn. It does also trigger a setup which gives you even more stats while switching between the two, so use them freely, really. The stats you'll be wanting for this set is crit, dodge, block, and block power. These stats are important since there's a lot of skills that actually benefit from these stats. This is probably one of the more abundant ones I've personally seen a skill tree using these stats so well. Now as for my armor, this is a set that I had in the making of this video. Nothing too big. These provide a lot of dodge along with some crit and counter, and while having a decent protection. Should mention that these could have been a lot better if I found a second aquamarine ring, a pagan amulet, an occultist cape, and an electromancer staff. You know, if that ever gets released anyways. Now as for my enchantments, try to get block power, move resistance, dodge, crit, or block. Just to be aware though that you can only get block and crit from your weapon enchantments, so be mindful about that. Now, when it comes to fighting, the more important skills are Peacemaker, Battle Trance, Step Aside, Unwavering Stance, and Opportune Moment. These specific skills allow you to control the fight very well, as you can see me here fighting these bisons completely surrounded. They barely have a chance to make an attack since I'm constantly knocking them back with Step Aside with the help of Wavering Stance, and I also can move and strike away with Peacemaker. They're either forced to follow me, retreat, or I can block and dodge them. And because of Battle Trance and Opportune Moment, I can constantly do this when I'm scoring critical strikes, especially if I'm surrounded. Now, staff isn't all perfect. Some of its weaknesses are damage reflection, counterattacks, nets, and stagger. Damage reflection and counterattacks will harm you since you're always trying to constantly attack, while nets and staggers will stop you from dodging and blocking. Fortunately, these kinds of enemies aren't abundant, but it is something you need to be aware about when you do find them. Now, without further ado, enjoy these late game clips. I do hope you liked this guide, and if you did, please be sure to like and subscribe. Leave a comment in the comment section below, and I'll be seeing you guys next time. Peace.